Thank you very much. Welcome to Classical Literary Theatre. I am your host for today's show, Alistair Innes. Today's topic on our show is foreshadowing. Today's topic is foreshadowing. You might be wondering, what is foreshadowing? Well, a simple definition is the following. It is a literary device in which an author suggests certain plot developments that will come later on in the story. The examples may be very simple and very easily understood, or the clues and symbols might be very complex that they will be connected later on into the plot line of the story. Now, I know that most of you, all of you, have at this very moment in your possession underneath your desk a copy of the complete works of William Shakespeare. I know he's a very famous author for you middle schoolers at this time, so if you would please get out that book and look in the index and let's look up Romeo and Juliet. What do you mean you do not have the complete works of William Shakespeare with you at this time? What do you mean you do not have that? Well, I guess we shall improvise. Well, there's this story that William Shakespeare had written long ago called Romeo and Juliet. And let's examine a foreshadowing device that the great Shakespeare used in that story. There's at one point, Miss Capulet, she said about her Romeo, she said, "Methinks I see thee, now thou art below, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb." I shall now give a spoiler alert, so cover your ears if you do not wish to know the ending of this. But yes, Lady Juliet will find her Romeo, her poor beloved Romeo, dead in a tomb at the end of the story. Now, at Innes Classical Literary Theatre, we oftentimes have special guest authors with us, and our first author that is going to be talking with us today is the very successful young adult author, Mr. Gary Paulson, who has traveled with us all the way from Canada to spend some time to talk about foreshadowing. So, Mr. Paulson, just take it away.
Well, thank you, Alistair, for having me on your show today. Well, let's see. I was supposed to talk about foreshadowing and how I have used it in my writing. Well, I guess I could talk about how I used foreshadowing in Hatchet. Now, kids, if your friends have not read Hatchet, well, don't tell them about the story. Let them read it themselves. Let's keep it a secret. You get it? The secret. Well, anyway, those of you who've read the book understand that joke. That's pretty funny. You get it? The secret. Yeah, okay. Anyway, one example of how I used foreshadowing was in the story, I had Brian's mother give him a hatchet for a going-away gift. Now, this action of Brian receiving this hatchet prepares the reader for Brian's need for a basic tool of survival in the Canadian wilderness. Well, I enjoyed being on your show today. Back to you, Alistair.
Thank you, Mr. Paulson, for your wonderful insight into foreshadowing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for our last special guest, we have the comic book artist Stan Lee. Mr. Lee, would you please, we welcome you to our show.
Well, thank you very much, Alistair. My name is Stan Lee, and I'm the creator of Spider-Man. Well, let's take a look at a video. Now, can you spot the foreshadowing element here in this scene from Spider-Man 3?
I think he's going to be fine.
I think so.
And you guys seem great.
Yeah.
You have lovely friends.
My best friends. I'd give my life for them.
Bye.